Out custody and divorce battles are putting children at risk and causing them undue suffering. That's according to the government, who today are announcing the biggest shake-up of the family justice system in a generation. Our chief correspondent Richard Gaisford is outside Staines Magistrates Court, which will have seen many such battles in the past. What will this mean for couples thinking of getting a divorce then?
Well, it means one door to walk through into the court system, into the family court system, Ranvid. Before there were 3 tiers, now there is just one. It should be simpler and much easier to understand. Of course, divorce is just one thing the family courts deal with, and when it came to divorce, before couples were urged to have a think about mediation, now they're being told they have to actually do it. They have to sit down and have a meeting about mediation if they have children or they're making financial claims before they start what could be a costly legal battle. And when we talk about mediation, we might think about perhaps counsellors and that sort of thing. It's actually a couple sitting down with effectively a referee, trying to work out a fair and balanced way of sorting out their differences and making sure everything works well for the children. The children are at the centre of all of this. And of course, it's care and supervision cases are also a big part of what the family courts do here. It had been found that they were dragging on in many cases for more than a year. Now they're being told that they have to be settled within 6 months, just to try and reduce the pain and stress for the children involved.
OK, thanks for that, with an overview there, Richard. Let's speak to Sheila Goodram, who is a mediation specialist. Good morning to you. People, when they hear mediation, think of therapy or relate, you know, these sorts of things. But, I mean, it is not that, is it, what you do?
It's absolutely not that. It's practical. Roll up your sleeves. Let's sort out what we've got in terms of a pot of money that needs to be divided between divorcing couples to make 2 homes, to make sure that there's maintenance, there's income for both, to make sure that there's a good arrangement between parents as to what's going to happen with children.
So where are the courts failing, which is why mediation is now being stepped up as an obligatory first step?
Well, it's the time, first of all. I was a solicitor for 15 years, and in that time I would say that often it took about 9 months, 12 months, even 18 months to get a case through the courts. And that's not a fault of the courts, it's the fact that there's such a volume of work going through. So that's a lot of uncertainty and stress for a lot of households going through divorce.
And, I mean, one issue with it is that this very first 1-hour session where you discover what mediation is, which all couples are now going to have to do,
yes.
It costs £500, you split the costs, it's £250 each, which for anybody struggling is an extremely expensive obligatory step when you perhaps know mediation is not going to be something that we can do because we are, you know, we are so apart in our thinking. But you're going to have to pay £250 on top of the court fees.
Certainly it's not going to cost £500. It's the first time I've ever heard that mentioned.
Right,
I've been conducting mediation information meetings for 2 years. It's going to cost maybe tens of pounds, £50 up to £100, certainly no more than £150 for a couple to go along to a joint meeting. And that's less than the court fees, which are £200 to £300. So it's certainly worthwhile.
Well,
and I find that most people that go to a mediation information meeting feel that mediation is a no-brainer once they find out about it.
What's your response to the allegation I've read overnight that some of the counsellors, well-intentioned as they are, aren't adequately qualified to deal with like financial aspects of a separation or maybe even legal issues?
It's a very important question. For anyone thinking about going to see a mediator, they must go to the Family Mediation Council website. That's the Ministry of Justice supported website, and I understand the information is going to be on your website. So Family Mediation Council mediators only are to be approached, because mediation is still an unregulated industry. And certainly the best for me, if I was advising my family or friends, I would always say go to a lawyer mediator, because they know about tax law, they know about company law, it might be sole trader, builder, for instance, husband or wife, and it's really important that the knowledge is there.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit later on as well, but thanks for the time being. Thank you very much indeed. Okay.